What are you excited for people to see in season 4 with Michonne?
Use that, play out.
And the relationship with me.
And the relationship
which is obviously him.
Obviously. Yes, your relationship is actually all three.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
Yeah, we're supposed to have a threesome.
Sorry. Forgive me.
Governor is going after his own people for fleeing.
You need to dig in! It's not worth it.
That was a slaughter!
You bunch of pussies!
Want us to kill minors? Of course.
Yeah, you two aren't safe either. That's a psychopath you follow, gunning down his own people. Those two are fools. They should take him out right then and there. Because if he would do that to innocent people who just say they want to kill biters, I'm calling them biters, the walkers, it's only a matter of time before he does it to them. Again, you cannot let evil. Oh, she's hiding under that body. He ran out of ammo. You cannot let evil survive. You just have to take it out. You cannot live with it, compromise with it, engage it, debate with it, and think, oh, maybe he won't do this or he won't do that. He will. It's only a matter of time. Martinez and Jabari tribe, dumb for continuing with this psychopath. And Andrea, oh God, she's still struggling with that thing. Girl, do what you have to do. She's there. Oh gosh, pausing and
Michonne.
Deal with it. Deal with Carl when you come back, Rick. Well, he's gonna do it now. I love how Rick says Michonne. Michonne.
Herschel told me about the boy you shot.
He had a gun.
Was he handing it over?
He had just attacked us.
Yeah. Yes, he had. Was he handing it over?
I couldn't take the chance. I didn't kill the walker that killed Dale. Look what happened.
So that is not the same
You
thing.
didn't kill Andrew. And he came back and killed Mom. You were in a room with the governor. And you let him go. And then he killed Merle. I did what I had to do.
Carl is telling Rick, you didn't take care of business and it came back and bit us in the butt. So I'm not going to follow in your footsteps. I'm going to take care of business. Oh my gosh. You see, that's the difference between an adult and a child. He's right in some cases in the terms of Rick not dealing with the governor when he had a chance, allowing that prisoner to go free, turned around and bit them in the butt. But Carl doesn't get the nuances that there are in situations. Everything is not black and white. That kid was not the same type of person as the prisoner and the governor. He's not mature enough to understand. He's not lived long enough to understand that not everyone is the same, and you can read the room. You have to assess situations, and you need more experience in life to do that. That's why, he's a smart kid, but that's where experience and emotional intelligence comes in. He's still a kid and he'll learn, but it's sad. It's a sad situation.
Now go. so he doesn't kill any more of us.
Carl said, Carl said, so go, so he doesn't kill any more of us. Oh my gosh. The sheriff's badge. Poor Rick, he has it. Oh, he doesn't need any more guilt piled on top of him. Poor guy.
We're staying.
Oh,
We don't know where the governor is. If he comes back, we'll hold him off. Just the three of us. All right.
I didn't notice that. It's just the three of them going after the governor. So it's Rick, Michonne, and Daryl. Daryl is on his bike, so Rick and Michonne are in the van together. Already they're peering off. I said the Karen. I meant Karen. That's the character's name. Can't believe I said that. Oh, Andrea. Girl, you know what? I'm not going to aggravate myself because I know what happened, but it's so frustrating watching it. So she was free. She could handle a walker. She's done it many times. So I see where some people's like, oh, that's not believable that she couldn't take care of Milton. Oh, Tyrese and Sasha.
Tyrese! It's me, Gus!
Damn! Karen! Karen, are you okay?
I'm fine!
Where's the governor?
He fired on everyone! He killed them all!
Why are you with them?
They saved me!
We're coming out! We're coming out! What are you doing here? We were coming to finish this. Until we saw what the governor did. Karen told us Andrea hopped the wall, going through the prison. She never made it. She might be here.
Do you see the frost coming out of their mouths as they speak? It's really cold. And those small little jackets they have on can't protect them. Will
you open it? I tried to stop him. You're not enough. Judith, Carl, the rest of them.
The rest of us.
It's good you found them. No one can make it alone now.
Michonne is torn up.
I just didn't want anyone to die. I can do it myself. No, I have to. I know how the safety works.
I know know how the safety works. That was a chemistry test between Andrea and Rick in episode 2 of season 1, and they failed miserably. And even here, there's just no there. It's a tender moment, but there's just no sparks between Andrea and Rick.
I'm not going anywhere.
Michonne, faithful until the end, the very end. She wouldn't leave Andrea to die alone. That's the difference between her and Andrea. Michonne put others first.
I tried.
You did.
Andrea said she tried. Well, she did try in the end too, but it was too late. They brought the residents of Woodbury back with them.
What is this?
You're gonna join us.
Carla's not happy about that. Herschel, glad to see Tyrese again. She's not there, Rick. You kept your people safe. I guess the guilt, the burden is lifted a little. Well, I said most of what I wanted to say throughout the episodes. Small tidbit that I can share with you was that Laurie Holden, the actress that played Andrea, insisted that she was promised to be in the series for at least 8 seasons. And if you read the graphic novels, Andrea was the main love interest for Rick. Not throughout the whole series. She was paired with Dale for quite a while. And if you watched in seasons 1 and 2, Dale was very, very concerned about Andrea. He had feelings for her. It was very obvious. It wasn't reciprocated in that way, but in the graphic novel, she and Dale were together for a very long time. Until Dale passed, and then she just came on to Rick and decided she wanted to be with Rick, and she came on to Rick. Rick was resistant. He didn't want to be with Andrea, but she insisted, and they got together, and they became a solid unit, a solid couple together. But in the show, as I said, they did a chemistry test between her and Andrew Lincoln, and it just didn't work. Though Laurie Holden insisted that she was very upset that she was let go from the show, and she insists up to this day that she was supposed to be paired with Rick. The showrunner at the time for season 1, Frank Darabont, who casted Andrea, did an interview recently, and he said he never intended to pair Andrea with Rick. I don't know if that's something he decided after the chemistry test, but he said no, he was never going to put Andrea with Rick. So whatever the case was, it wasn't in the cards. And as we famously know, Andrew Lincoln himself, once Denai Guerrero was cast, he decided this was who he wanted for his leading lady. So even if she was still in the show, I don't think it would have panned out for Andrea to be with Rick. And I know there are fans of Rick and Andrea as a couple in the comics, but I read the comics and I didn't see anything so grand or great about Andrea and Rick. Towards the end, they try to make it this, deep and soulmate love, but it just didn't come across authentic, even reading it as a graphic novel. Do you know what came across authentic? And it was obvious that it was being avoided for a specific reason, was Rick and Michonne. Their friendship was more soulful and deep on the comic pages than Rick and Andrea. I wasn't the only one that felt that. It was just so obvious that Rick should be paired with Michonne. Robert Kirkman, the creator and writer of the graphic novel, said he considered it. In my opinion, he chickened out. Frank Darabont, I don't know if he would have gone in that direction, Rick and Michonne, but Andrew Lincoln wanted it. And fortunately, Denai and Andrew Lincoln have phenomenal chemistry. And the showrunner, Glenn Mazzara, at the time, I don't know if he had that in mind, but the showrunner in the latter seasons did have the vision because he planted the seed in Claire. Scott Gimple wrote Claire, that episode with Rick, Carl, and Michonne. So the seeds were planted by Scott Gimple, and he was the one that made the call in the latter season to put Rick and Michonne together. I thought it was clumsily done in terms of the episodes leading up to it. The writings in the latter seasons was very spotty. I blame that for it. They were focusing on another character heavily instead of who they should be focusing on. So Michonne's arc, though it turned out okay, could have been 100 times better. They thought they had golden eggs in other characters and they put all those eggs over Michonne in their baskets. That was a mistake for the show then, and it turned out to be a huge mistake in the long run. Yes, even though Michonne did not get the attention and the investment that her character deserved, but Danai Gurira still managed to rise above the writing dearth and got a chance to make it up in her own show where Rick and Michonne are the focus, which should have been in the Mothership series, and made gold. And that would have happened if there was focus on the heart and soul of The Walking Dead. Rick is the heart and soul of The Walking Dead. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Without Rick, it's just The Walking Dead is an empty shell. Subsequent series and spin-offs and proves it true. Without Rick Grimes, there is no The Walking Dead. And Michonne is integral to the story. Michonne is integral to his story. When there is right focus and it's done correctly, it's written with care and investment, look at the results. Look at the results. The ones who live is just a small sample of what could have been with The Walking Dead, both in the comics and in the original show. The comics went by the wayside. The comics wasn't as big as it could be. And the comics died when Rick died. It started out, he said it was Rick's story. Then in the end, he said it was Carl's story. But when it became Carl's story, there was just no interest. He had to kill the comics because the interest died. When Rick left The Walking Dead, there was some life there. There were great characters still there, but the soul of the show was no longer there and the interest died. Only those characters, fans, stayed around, and it was not enough. When Michonne left, the interest died even more because Rick and Michonne are a unit. Michonne matters to Rick's story, and Rick's story is everything. And again, we see the results with the reception to The Ones Who Lived. When the focus is on the right characters, when the story is about the right characters, because Rick is the story. Rick's love for his family. Rick's motivation is his family. When it's about Rick and his family, the story soars. That's what made The Walking Dead. It was not the zombies. It was not the CRM. It was not Negan. It was not the Whisperers. It was not any sort of baddie. What made The Walking Dead, what pulled people in, was Rick's story, and Rick's motivation was his family. When it was about Rick and Lori and Carl and the whole drama with Shane, The Walking Dead was gold because it was a Rick story. It was about a man who woke up when the world ended and him trying to find his family. And when he found his family, him trying to keep his family together and to keep them alive, because that is the beating heart of Rick Grimes. Those that claim, oh, they want to see just Rick and fighting, some action hero fighting the CRA. Rick's motivation is his family. Rick doesn't care about being any action hero. Rick will fight tooth and nail to keep his family alive, to be with his family. That's it. So people talking about some people trying to negate Michonne so that they can get Rick, just being feral and whatever. It's an empty nothing, and nobody would watch that because that's not what they're there for. They're there for the human story, something that we can all connect and identify with. A man's love for his family and trying to survive the odds to be with and protect his family. So that's what hooked people into The Walking Dead. The human drama of Rick, Lori, Carl, and Shane. That's what hooked people to the ones who lived. And if you don't get that, Rick being kept from his family, Rick trying to get back to his family, and his wife trying to find him for her children, and them getting together and the obstacles of them returning to their kids. And when they overcame all the odds and were able to be with their kids, it was gold. It was touchdown. It was everything. It wasn't about a character trying to be like Rambo and just fighting off zombies and looking cool with a baseball bat and whatever. It's okay. You can get cliche characters like that in any story, but people won't identify with that. People won't watch that in droves. Yeah, they'll get some fans here and there, but it was Rick Grimes, played magnificently by Andrew Lincoln, that pulled us in. And then that magic, that chemistry, that kismet pairing with Michonne made it even grander, because what makes life worth it? Why survive? For what? It's all about love. It's about love. And whether it's familial love, like Rick's love for his son, Carl, and now romantic love, that's what pulls us in. That's what pulls most of us in. So trying to negate or dismiss Michonne so you can get back your Rick, the Rick, you don't know Rick. You don't know Rick if you think Rick is, people would watch this show for just Rick kicking butt. That's incidental. That's enjoyable, seeing the action part of it, what Rick would do for his family. Rick biting out that guy's throat. He didn't do it because he was being a badass. He was trying to protect Carl and Michonne from being raped. That's what motivates Rick Grimes, and that's why we love Rick Grimes. That's why the majority of the audience and viewers love Rick Grimes, because he's some random action hero. You know how we know? Because the viewers don't love Negan. He's tough and he's like a fascist, and he doesn't care about people. He just does what he wants, and we love that. The majority of the audience left when he came in the show and he became the focus of the show. So there you go. Thank you guys for watching episode 16 with me. It was a blast, and I can't wait for us to get into season 4. See you there.